Hi everyone, my name is Diane and this is my pink bathtub. Welcome. There are no pink bathtubs here, but I used to own one and I didn't quite like it, and that's kind of how the name of my little wee company evolved. I am coming to you from my pajamas in the province of Manitoba, smack dab in the center of Canada. Not feeling the best here. I've been sick for almost a week. It'll be a week tomorrow. And I am on the upswing, but it sure hit me. It sure hit me, and we'll get more into that later. But today I want to share with you 3 whips that I'm working on that are not mitten related because I finished my last craft market this past weekend. I'm going to also share with you how that went, the things I got from it, the items I bought. And yeah, let's get started. Get yourself a hot beverage. I should have got myself one. I'm going to try and video this as much just long form without editing because I don't feel up to that. And I may have to pause or cut out the coughing because once I get started, it doesn't seem to stop. So I am taking a bit of a mitten break because I don't have to make mittens right now. And I have 3 projects that I'm working on. 2 of them are gifts. Well, I guess all 3 of them are gifts because one of them is a gift for me that I'm finally going to finish. But the first thing I am knitting on, and I'm going to hopefully see my family in 3 days' time, and I'll be healthy enough to do so, is a dog sweater for my dog niece, Mabel, Miss Mabel. And I'll put a photo up here. I did share, if you are returning, some footage of Mabel in the past. And she is relatively new to our family, and she is a puggle. She is a pug beagle mix. So her body is small but long, and I am making her a doggy sweater in very, very bright. It's just a acrylic yarn. I believe it's Red Heart Comfort yarn. I do not have the label, and I was a little concerned as I was going along that I wasn't going to have enough, but I think I'll be okay. I'm not going to completely finish it because we do want to try it on her. Also to see how it fits with her harness because she has a new body harness. So it is essentially in 2 parts. There's this one piece. This is the back of it. And I'm currently working on the bottom under her belly, which her arms will go out here. And I am doing it out of this book called Wooley, Woofers by Debbie Bliss. It's fun. It's a little bit of a challenging pattern when you look at the actual, I don't know, what do you call that? This is going to be a good video. I don't know. When you look at the cable and the pattern at around the breast, the chest of the dog, it's kind of, the way it's written is in different panels, so you kind of have to flip-flop back and forth. And I did, when I started this right after the craft fair, and I was quite sick, and I would not recommend doing a detailed pattern when you're not feeling good. I ripped it back and I started it a second time because I kind of lost count of where I was supposed to be at with everything. And you have to keep going in the pattern, but you have to, you know, make room for those little legs. Anyway, the Good Boy Gainsey is this pattern that I am doing. It's coming along nicely. My hope is to get, I'm going to work on it today. My hope is to get the both sides completely done and maybe just seam up one side of it. After you seam it up, you have to do the ribbing for the leg and the back. But this has been fun and challenging to make at the same time. I'm really hoping it's going to fit her. But if it doesn't, we'll figure it out. And that's how much, it was a giant ball of yarn that I had. So that's my whip number 1. My whip number 2, and yes, I'm doing it, is my sock. I showed you guys this sock. I looked back in my history 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and I cast it on the second one. Now, part of the reason why I didn't cast on the second one was I wanted it to line up. I wanted it to like look, I don't know why. It was just important to me that they matched. And I didn't have the mental fortitude to like pull out the yarn to line it up or anything. So I went out for coffee several weeks ago now with my friend Alice from Xuxiao. Alice, hi Al. And she helped me figure out the next starting point of where I should be with this sock. Now this is the vanilla sock pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady on DPNs. I love me a good DPN. I don't know, I just enjoy DPNs. I always make my mittens with them. It's just my go-to choice for the sticks. And the yarn I am using is Barocco sock yarn. I got this in my Aberdeen's Wool mystery bag one time. Really love the color. So Al pulled from the center when we were for coffee, and she pulled this much out of it to get it to line up. And so I thought I better get started on this, which I did. And it's lining up perfectly. Look at that. So, I mean, I am new to making socks. And, you know, I put the little light bulb stitch marker. Words are going to be really difficult today. I'm just letting you know. Every 10 rows. So as I've been going along, I've been moving them over just to keep track. But lining up 100% perfectly. Thank you, Alice, so much for your help. Alice is like my knitting encyclopedia friend. I think everybody has, if not, should have one of those people in their lives. I just Google Alice. I don't look up information. I just ask. I just go ask Alice. Did anybody read that book? Go Ask Alice in high school? Anyway, so I'm determined to get this done by the end of the month, and I think I will. The first priority is the doggy sweater. Then I'm going to get this done, and I have to share with you, and I don't have all the full details yet because Al and I need to get together, but I'll formally announce this, that Alice and I are doing a sock along for 2025. I had shown in previous episodes, and I don't have it here with me right now. We are going to do a sock a month. There's going to be prizes consisting of things like yarn and sock patterns, maybe a project bag here and there, different things. And we invite everyone and anyone to come and join us. You can do it in knitting or crocheting. We ourselves are doing it. See, like that. We ourselves are doing it as a mystery sock along. So what I had done is I had gone through a lot of my single skeins or crazy colored yarn and pulled together a whole bunch of options and put them in bags. And we're going to pull out a bag each month, and whatever yarn we get, we're going to knit socks. I'm going to pretty much start with vanilla socks for me because I'm going to say I'm a beginner sock knitter. I am. And the patterns, like for me, if it's got detail in the color like this, I don't think it needs texture. But I know as I go along, I will probably want to challenge myself more with different heels and cuffs and all that stuff about socks that I don't know. So I hope that you would I hope you will consider joining us in that. That's going to be fun. We're starting that in January. So yeah, I thought, gosh, I better like get at least one pair of socks done before this starts to say that I've made a pair of socks. And if I'm really ambitious, I might make a pair in December. I'm still figuring out I am doing some sort of a yarn vent or yarn advent month. I don't know if I'm going to do it every day, every second day, every third day. I do have advent calendars and they've been coming in, but some of them are going to be for Christmas in July because I kind of overbought, and I also do not want to spend money on yarn next year if possible. I want it to be a no-buy yarn. I want to work through my stash. So that's my plan. So we're going to have an episode about yarn advent calendars later this month before December starts. So yeah, that's my sock, and I'm happy I finally got it started. And the last project that I'm working on that is not mitten related, you guys are like, who is this lady without these mittens? Is a gift for a friend. She knows I'm making it. It's not really a Christmas gift. It is just a gift. And I put it in my bag from, I don't know how well you can see this. I'll take it out. From Pine and Pearl. Surely not everyone was kung fu fighting. I bet some were knitting. And I am making the musselburgh hat. Again, my friend Alice helped me start this because I looked at the pattern and I was kind of overwhelmed. And honestly, the way my head was at, I didn't want to have to figure this out. I wanted someone to sit me down, look me in the eye, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old and say, you need to cast on this many stitches to make this hat. And that's what she did for me. My friend, the Soup Queen, who you may have met, who lives in Winnipeg Beach, wants a couple hats made, a couple beanies, and I brought out some yarn to share with her this summer, some options. And she says she self-professed big head. Her words, not mine. She has a 23.5-inch head. So I am doing the adult large, I believe. Let me look here. Yeah, I am doing the adult large. Alice thought I needed the medium, but I'm worried it's not going to be big enough because she does have a big head. Like, sorry, love you. I don't know if she's going to watch this, but anyways, I did the increases, and when same coffee date with the socks, Al helped me figure out that I had 6.5 gauge, and we figured out I needed 32 stitches per needle, or per increase. I don't know what I'm, per 4 segments. Anyway, this was going to be my knitting for my markets, which we're going to segue into right after this. And this is the yarn that I am knitting, which is Nerds and Needles, and the color is Asteroid. It's a sock yarn. It's very pretty. And I thought this was going to be a good option to knit on while I'm at my markets because I could just knit and knit, right? I, for some reason, thought that I was going to be done this hat by the end of the market, but I wasn't for various reasons. But here is where we are at. I really like how it is striping up. And yes, it's going to be big. Maybe it is going to be too big, but I'm following the pattern. Question. And I saw Kelly from Lockbriar Knits talking about her musselburgh hats this past week. How do you block hats? Do I have to block it? Can I not just launder it and just lay it flat? Do I have to block it? Please help me. Please give me some insight in the comments because I'm kind of like, I don't know if I want to block this hat. Hold on, I got a cough. So yes, this, okay, here's what I'll tell you about this. When I did the brim and did the increases and got to where I needed to go, I had weighed the amount of yarn I had before I started, and then I weighed it after I got to this point. And my goal is I just want to use the whole thing. I don't think I'm going to go by the number of inches it's suggesting you make for a hat. Or should I? Now I'm self-doubting myself. My goal was I was going to just knit it up until I would start weighing it to see. I think I need 10 grams. I did write that down. And then I'm going to decrease it because I just don't want to have any, I don't want to have any little pieces of yarn lying around. I just want to use the whole thing. So yes, this is my third thing, my musselburgh, and I quite like it. It's easy to do. I was knitting this during my market. This was my market knit. I dropped a lot of stitches. But that's because, let's knit on it now, that's because I was sick. Yeah, and so as I was going, I was recognizing that I was dropping stitches, like just down like 3 or 4 rows, so I was kind of picking them up as I went along. You know, again, easy knit, don't have to look when you're knitting because it's just straight knitting and it's just very methodical kind of stuff. But let's back up a couple days before the market, shall we? I only did 2 markets this year. If you're new and you're still watching, bravo. Like, who is this woman, right? I knit mittens for markets, and I only did 2 markets this year. And I had 3 weeks between my last market and this market, and I took pre-orders through Instagram and at my first market for pickup at the second market, and I'm glad I did. I had 8 or 9 pickups, and I made over my booth fee for the second event. I made over $300 before I even went to the market. So I was really happy about that I had paid for my booth already. And I did have limited stock when it came to the mittens, so I pretty much brought everything and anything. I'll put a little bit of video up here of the day. I brought anything and everything that I had, like even some one-off toys that I didn't really like, and sold some stock. It was a busy market. It was a good market. I did well. For the price of the booth fee and the size of the market, I did well. But something I didn't share with all of you is I kind of went through a little bit of a health concern. It's not a concern because I have gotten the results and I am fine, but I've had to go to a lot of medical appointments this last month or so. My first market, I had to go for an ultrasound at the hospital. I mean, it was fine, but you know, you don't want to think about this stuff too much. And I did kind of push it to the back of my head thinking, I'm not going to worry about anything till I need to worry about something. But it was, you know, something you had to go do. So I had to go do that the day before my setup on my first market. And then this past week on Wednesday, I had to go for, they call it surgery. I'm going to call it a biopsy, which is what it was, at the hospital on the Wednesday. The market setup was on Friday, and the market was on Saturday and Sunday. And I had to be put under for this. I had to have general anesthetic for the nature of where it was coming from. I have had very bad experiences with anesthetic in the past, anesthetic. So I told the anesthesiologist about this. And he decided he was going to put me on a low dose and not give me oxygen, let me breathe naturally on my own and a couple other things. And it worked out wonderful because I was pretty much figuring I was kind of done for the week when it came to my knitting. And Thursday I felt totally fine. Now Wednesday was a long day. It was like 6 hours at the hospital for a 6-minute procedure. But when they put you under, they got to monitor your health. And then when you come out of it, you got to be there for several hours to make sure you're okay. And I had to have someone drive me there and home. So, of course, Hubs took me, and he the poor man was sick like a dog, sick like a dog. And his illness started like the day before. So I wore a mask in the car and at the hospital because I didn't want to get what he had. And Thursday, and I'm glad I was healthy to be able to get the procedure done. Thursday, I was fine. And then Friday evening was the day where we had to do setup for this market because it was on Saturday and Sunday. And we were both sick on Friday. Like I was just starting to get it. And I was like, oh gosh, but I had all these people coming to pick up my product. So we set up really quickly, and I went home and I went straight to bed. Woke up Saturday morning and I just heavily medicated myself. I wasn't coughing or anything. I pretty much just didn't feel well. So day one, I'll share with you the things that I bought. I'm trying to remember what I got from day one. Oh, let me back up a little bit. Demetra from the Naked Snail had, I guess, a little bit of a contest on her channel and was giving away as a gift her handmade earrings, and I won a pair. So she asked me what color. I said, make them pink, and I'll wear them at my market. So these are what they look like. I do have, I think, a little bit of a photo of me wearing them. So thank you so much, Demetra, for them. They're so cute. And she also sent me this very cute little cross stitch of a Santa Claus, which is going to go in my tickle trunk of all my Christmas bits and bobs. And if I don't make it in December, I'm making it Christmas in July for sure. So thank you so much, Demetra. I just wanted to make sure I got her in there. Half number 4. Okay, so the first day when I went there, I bought from 2 vendors who I reached out. 2 vendors. I reached out to both of them ahead of time that I wanted something that I saw on their sites, and I knew both of them because I had done markets with them before. The first one was Jeanine from Jeanine Tomlinson Pottery. She lives out of the city. I can't recall where. So she only does one market in the city, and then she does a local market close to her home. And when I saw this, you guys, it is a cute little fox. She had a tea candle in here in this little kind of bowl, but I'm going to use it by my knitting table, and I'm going to put buttons in it for when I'm doing my button knitting on my mittens. And I thought it was perfect. Isn't he just, trying to get a clear photo of him for you, isn't he just fantastic? So we were chatting back and forth on Instagram prior to the show, and asking how much it was, how many she had, and I told her I had to have it, and so she held it for me. And then in the package, because she had it all wrapped up, she gifted me a couple of her pottery buttons. So there's this beautiful one, which I think will look lovely on a shawl or somewhere. It's almost like a shell. And then look at this one, you guys. Isn't that fantastic? That little cat. Cough number 5. When I saw this, my mind started racing to other ideas of things I wanted to make. And I thought, I already know next year I just want to do animal wearables. I kind of want to get away from the toys. Whatever toys I have, I will slowly sell. The only toys I think I'm going to make is I'm going to make midi micro pigs with my pink hand-dyed yarn out of my own pig pattern. And I think I'm also going to make little pocket support chickens, like just little chickens out of yarn that, you could have in your life. Otherwise, I'm just making fox stoles and mittens and hats. I'm kind of on the fence about hats, but I thought I went and talked to her and I said, I think we need to maybe work together on a project. And when I mean work together, I would just order and buy buttons from her and had my own little personal collab with her. But if I made cute little hats with just cat ears and then put a button on it, like kind of at the brim, I thought this might be a cute idea to try. And I thought maybe foxes and cats and what else was I thinking? Chicken with little chicken brow. Just very simple hats, but something with ears on them with the button would be really cute. So we were kind of talking about that, thinking, So I'm going to use this one as an example and make up a hat this year with that little button because I think it's just adorable. So thank you so much for this little extra. I'm going to link her information below. Yes, she lives in Manitoba, but she does have a website and she will ship to the United States. She makes such beautiful, cute work. Check out her Instagram. Check out her website. Just wonderful, whimsical things she makes. She's just lovely. And the other person I bought from, let me just get rid of some of the stuff here because I have stuff all over the place, you guys. I have a friend named Tina, a maker friend, who I have been to many markets with, who sells handmade soap. Handmade soap. And I noticed that she had soap advents. I was like, yes, please. Let me just get it. Now, I am not normally into fancy smelling soaps and whatnot. She had one that was just soap, and then she had one which is a mix of soap and body products. And that is the one I picked. And I'm super excited. I'm going to open it this Christmas, this December with you as one of my advents. I'm just going to open it up and show you what it looks like. It's all packaged beautifully. So I treated myself to that and wanted to support her business. And my cold is so bad, I'm at the point where I have no taste and no smell, but I'm sure it smells lovely. So she also has a website that she will sell to the States. She doesn't have these on her website, but if you're interested, I paid $50 Canadian for this. You can reach out to her, but she has all kinds of soaps and stuff. And I did ask her if she was going to have any of her lip butter in this package, and she said no. And I said, oh, I really wanted one, so she just gave me one because people are so nice to me. I don't understand why. So this is called her lip butter. She has it in spearmint and in blood orange, and I got the blood orange. And you guys, this stuff, I mean, I can't smell anything right now. This stuff is amazing. I just absolutely love it. And it was $10. So yes, I'm linking both these ladies below. Fabulous products. Just love their stuff. And the market was good. I'm finding there's lots of food vendors now, like that sell alcohol or other things like that. I did bump into some friends. People came to visit me. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law came to visit me, and some former teachers that I worked with. And it was a lovely day. It was a tiring day, but it's funny how you can push yourself through things when you need to. Day 2 of the market was a bit of another story. Oh no, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law came on day 2, but they came to visit me. Day 2 is a different kind of a story because I got there early and I was talking to my friend Jude on the phone, just kind of catching up with her. And all of a sudden my nose started bleeding. I wasn't even blowing my nose or nothing. It just like, I gotta go, my nose is bleeding. It was like 20 minutes before the market. I had to run to the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for more than 10 minutes and I was like, this thing is not gonna stop. And it finally did. I guess it was just really dry in there. But I was like, I luckily didn't get anything all over me, but like, what a gong show. Like, what else is going to happen to me? I did well in sales. I did equivalent to what I did the day before. So that was good. Plus I had my pre-orders. So it was well worth it. The attendance was good at the market. Everything was great. I just was feeling like garbage. And poor Hubs was home sick in the full swing of his illness. So I ended up tearing down and packing up myself and just got the heck out of there. By the time I got home, I was so exhausted. I just really took to my bed like a Jane Austen movie. I took to the bed and laid down. And then I was pretty much out for a few days, and I didn't unpack my car. This was on a Sunday. I didn't unpack my car till Tuesday, and that pretty much expelled all my energy. But I went through everything, organized things better, put everything away. And at the time of this recording, it's actually Thursday, hoping to get this up on Friday for you. But I did buy a few more things at the market. On the last day, I went back to my friend Jeanine's booth to look, just to see what else she had. I am just fox crazy, and I found this little guy. Look at him. Like, her work is just so, like, this is hand crafted, hand painted. She has her own little kiln. So I got this little guy. So I'm going to put him up on my mantle. Like, look at how beautiful that is. It's just fantastic. Sorry, I've lost count. It's at number 6. And she's like, oh yeah, when I got home, I looked around and I found another button for you. So I gave her some extra money for the button because I'm like, come on, this is ridiculous. And this one is a penguin. So I'm kind of excited about this. Like, isn't this great? I'm wondering if this is wood or if this is ceramic. No, this is ceramic. This one feels like it might be wood. I'll have to ask her. Anyways, look at how cute that is. So that might be a cute idea too, a penguin hat. So I'm excited. The other one and the last thing I bought, all I did was buy stuff for myself. My last market, I was gifted 2 of these coasters from my cousin who I'm making a gnome for Christmas. And the creator is Ellie Bee Creations. I'll link her Instagram below. She's a new maker this year. I was fortunate to meet her before the market and get a chance to talk to her pre-nosebleed. And I had seen something on her site, and I took another look, and I bought myself a gift. For my tree, I know I can't stop buying fox stuff. For my tree, isn't that gorgeous? So this is decoupage. Like, this is just like a ceramic tile, and so she does decoupage on it, and then she puts like a heavy resin over it and then bakes it. And so we were talking. She's got a fairly new company. She's been out a few years, and she's done like 33 markets or something this year, like every weekend. I'm like, whoa. And she works full time. But yeah, so that's my finds for the market. The only other things I want to share with you is just a couple of, So on Sunday, Tina, the soap girl, comes up to me and says, come and look, or I went over and talked to her about, how was your sales on Saturday, and confessed about my illness to her. And she pointed to a prop she had on the table. She says, I have one of these in pink. Do you want it? Because I don't really need it. And so I said, sure. So I paid her for it. She says, I'm going to text my husband and tell him to bring it before we tear down today, and you can get it. Of course, by the time she came around to my table, I had forgotten about it because I was hallucinating at that point. Yeah, it was bad, you guys. Anyways, look at what I bought from her. Like, come on. This, she just got this at Michael's. It was like 25 bucks. I'm like, here's 25 bucks. I'll take it. Like tin metal. And yeah, it's fantastic. I think it's a perfect size just to prop mittens up in. So not that I need any more props, but she said she kept texting her husband to remind him. He's like, yeah, I'll get it. She goes, you don't understand. Her business name is My Pink Bathtub. But yeah, so I ended up getting that at the market as well. So it was a great market. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is just a couple of books I have and some things that people have been asking me to make, which I thought was kind of interesting. Got a few books. I was looking, I have this book from before, but I have this book called the Mitten Handbook, which I bought previously. And it's kind of a hybrid book where you can do different cuffs and gussets and closures of the top. And you can mix and match it. I've never made anything from the book as of yet. But I had a lot of requests for baby mittens, which I was kind of surprised. Like I must have had at least 10 people ask me, do I make baby mittens? Because the smallest size I make is toddler, and those are the ones I include the mitten clips with. And I said no, but I thought, maybe I can make some for next year. And it was funny because I was looking at this book just before the market started, and I found this pattern. And I thought, that is so cute. I could get a goldfish bowl and just throw them loosely in a goldfish bowl, like in yellows and oranges and greens and blues, and people could pick out matching ones or different ones. And the way that it is cinched in here with the ribbing, it should kind of just pop over a baby's hand and stay rather nicely. So I think that's something that I want to make for next year, like a small amount, like they would be relatively quick and easy and a cheap option for people, for babies. I'd seen this book a while ago. I really wanted it. I wanted it more than anything for inspiration to make other animals. But this has baby mittens in it, so I could also try and make some of these. I don't want to make them with the thumb though, but there's different patterns without the thumb that I could try. The one I like the best is the strawberry. So this was, I ended up buying this from Indigo, but I think I couldn't get it on Amazon, so it was a $10 book. So I bought that. I'll put the link below for that. But I want to show you the find I found, which is available. It was available on Amazon and on Indigo at the same price. Indigo, for those who are not Canadian, is a Canadian bookseller. But so these are all in Canadian prices. I got this book, you guys, for $8. Modern Heritage Knits by Christina Danaee. You cannot find a decent sweater pattern on Ravelry for under $8 Canadian. So I was like, listen, if I find one pattern I like in this book, I'm winning at life. And I found more than one, but one that I love is this. Now, I wouldn't personally put it on the sleeves, but this part here, remember that yarn that I opened last week from Sarah Nickel, that beautiful lilac-y color yarn? I could use that yarn here in the color work and then do the rest of this in like a gray or a charcoal gray color. So this is definitely going to be a pattern that is going to be on my wish list to do. But there was, every pattern in this book is just lovely. I would highly encourage you to run, don't walk. If there's any of these left, I'm hoping for you to snag. They are on Indigo and they are on Amazon. I did get this one on Indigo. I checked Amazon yesterday and there was one left, but it said more to come. I just want to show you another, like so many of these patterns. It was just gorgeous. There's some hats. Two other ones, bear with. This I really like, if you're catching that. And this one, I even went and looked for yarn in my room already for this pattern, which I am dying. I'm making this for myself. Now, the thing I liked about this book too is at the back of the book, this I want to make for myself in very similar colors. At the back of the book, they have other yarn options. And when I went through it, I recognized that I can use some of my Patton's classic wool yarn in some of these books, some of these patterns. So $8. Score. This book's maybe 5 years old, published, but beautiful, beautiful book. Get yourself one if you want. I mean, you don't have to, but sharing it. And finally, because I wanted free shipping on Indigo and you have to spend $35, I bought the Baby Mitt book and this book. I ended up treating myself, and I don't know when I'm going to get around to making some of these fancy things, but I wanted to say, Alice, if you want to borrow this book, you're welcome to for a while. 52 weeks of socks. This is the volume 1. There is volume 2. This is from Laine Publishing. There's a volume 2 out right now, but the volume 1 is $19.99, which is, I thought, a very good deal. It says right on here it's regular $37.99. Very beautiful socks, but they're all like textured fancy socks. And they all seem to have charts, which I got to get on it. I got to get on, using charts a little more. But, I will definitely, hopefully by the end of next year, tackle one. So a bit of a full mishmash of an episode. Next week, I want to finish my Newfoundland Labrador yarn, my Canada Yarn Road Trip series. I do have a giveaway that I want to do in it. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with Canada Post. I don't know how that's all going to play out. I can't see, there is a strike. There's a possible strike in Canada here for our postal service. They've kind of given themselves a strike mandate plus a lockout mandate. Like they're all both like, well, if you're going to do this, I'm going to do that kind of. But usually that's a negotiations tactic because I've been on a negotiations committee. So we'll see what happens. Of course, it's bad timing because that is, they want to hit them where it hurts, during the holiday season. So let's see what happens with that. I'm hoping it'll all be resolved by next week so I can send out the prize once I show you what it is, but it's not going to be drawn for a couple weeks anyway. So please tune into that if you're still with me. I mean, you may have said, oh, I don't want to get sick by her. By the way, you can't get sick through the television. Safe. Anyways, jam-packed full episode. I hope I didn't forget anything. And, thanks so much for watching today. I think I'm going to have a cup of tea and lie down. Until next time, my friends, take care and bye for now.